Hi everybody, so I wanted to make a quick video, kind of touching on something that's really close to my heart. It's very hard to talk about, but it's part of why I became a coach. So being a mom, or being a parent, your life is your child. Your life is what goes on with them. It is their life. It stops when theirs has to stop. You have to put all of the things that occur in their life kind of on hold if they're sick or if they have, a doctor's appointment or whatever the case may be. And yesterday, my life had to stop. And, I talked earlier on in the weekend about how my life wasn't going to look like it did this past weekend. My life was going to be waking up really early on a Saturday and Sunday morning and going off to work because Adam would be home and it would allow me the time to, for us to work opposite shifts basically. I would be working at night and he would be working during the day and I would be working on weekends when he would have them off so that we could avoid childcare. We could, have the girls be with us all the time, but it would mean that they would never be with both of us at the same time. And then, there's other things like medical emergencies. And I cringe at the thought of ever getting a phone call that my kid is being rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, that somebody is rushing them to the ER, that, they are struggling, whatever the case may be. And that happened yesterday. My daughter had her second of mini seizures, and we don't know why. We don't know what's causing them. We don't know right now what to do about them. I mean, in terms of future plans kind of thing, we have set up appointments with doctors and we're exploring our options and figuring out the cause. But yesterday I was in my kitchen and I wouldn't have been if it wasn't for coaching. I was in my kitchen and I was meal prepping, and the first time that it happened, it was just after school and I was home with all three of my girls, and she had walked towards me and was unconscious and then had a seizure. And this time she was on the couch with my husband, and again the same thing happened. If I was at work, if I was somewhere else, who's to say that they wouldn't have had a hard time getting a hold of me? Maybe I wouldn't have found out that she was being, rushed to the hospital because this is the second time, or maybe I wouldn't have even, there could have been like a loss in communication. Like there's all these things that run through my head, and I want to be the one that's at my daughter's side. Like every parent, you want to be the one that's at your child's side. And because of this opportunity, because of coaching, I get to make sure that for the next, however many months, 8 months before she starts school, and we have time to figure this all out, I'm not going to miss a doctor's appointment. I'm not going to miss work. I'm not going to miss pay. I'm not going to have to rely on somebody else to watch her every move, to, pay attention to, is she showing signs of another seizure? Is she, struggling? Is she, having episodes of whatever? I get to be that person because of this opportunity, not because of anything else, but because of this opportunity, because I can sit at home and I can work helping other women do the exact same thing. I can help them build their businesses and build their lives the way that they want. And for me, I want to be home with my girls 24 hours a day. I don't want anybody else to be relaying me how their day went, or if they had a medical emergency. That's not okay with me. And I'm so beyond grateful to have, to sit here the next day and kind of reflect back on all that has happened and all that I'm able to do because of this opportunity. And, I have an appointment on Thursday and I have an appointment next Tuesday, and like these are days that most people would miss pay. They'd have to call in sick. They'd have to schedule, their vacation days. And we all know that you don't get very many of those. So it's very relieving to only have to focus on one thing, to only have to focus on that one stress, that one thing that keeps, coming up, rather than my mind being kind of worried about all kinds of things. I share this because I know that there are many parents, many moms, many, dads, many people that struggle with the same thing, that they just want to be there, but they're not really sure if they can be or how can they be. I never want you to feel like you're forced into a situation that you don't want to be in. I never want you to feel like you have to be away from them if you don't want to be. There are other options. There is another way. And I didn't believe it at the beginning. I didn't think that this would be something that I could turn into a full-time job, that I could do from home and make a living and not have to leave my girls. It sounds too good to be true. And I thought it was for a very long time, but it's not. And I'm living proof of that. And I can't not say something and not share my story and not share this aspect of our journey as a family and how grateful we are that I get to be here, that I get to not worry about dropping her off every day. And I get to, go through this side by side. I want other people to know that they can do that too. So, I want to keep everybody up to date. I know that I've, kind of posted little bits and pieces, but basically I'm just grateful for this opportunity, for it allowing me to be where I am, to stay where I am. And if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're torn between one thing or the other, and you're not really sure how to make your mind okay, because I know it can be stressful, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to, bring you into how it can be possible. You're not going to be left out to dry. You're not going to be, figuring this out on your own. I'm here to do it with you. And after this weekend, I never want anybody to have to go through that as it is, but to never feel torn between being with their kids and not being with them. If you want to be with them and that's, something that you're willing to work for and willing to, give your all for, because I know I am, then let's chat, because nothing's better than the feeling of knowing that you're right there. Have a good night, everybody.